Okay, let's talk a little bit. A lot of people go on a carnivorous diet, and especially smaller people or people that are not huge meat eaters, they go on a carnivorous diet and they don't realize that potassium deficiency is a mother. Like, seriously. If you're only consuming a pound of meat per day, you're probably only getting in the ballpark of, uh, if it's beef, about 1,000 to 1,400 milligrams of potassium. If it's pork, you can get about 1,800 milligrams of potassium in a pound of beef, or in a pound of pork. It's about 900 milligrams per every 8 ounces of pork. It's about 500 to 700 depending on the cut of beef that you're eating. Now, if you're a smaller lady or man and you're only eating 1.5 to 2 pounds per day or less, you're probably not getting enough potassium. And if you feel like your heart, like there's a lot of pressure in your chest, or your heart's beating a lot, and it's something that you're not normally used to, you need to start focusing on increasing your potassium chloride. Go to the salt section over at Walmart or one of your big box stores and actually look and see. They got new salt, no salt. They've got Morton's light salt, which is a blend of potassium and regular sodium. That's like a sea salt blend. And then you have cream of tartar, which has no flavor, and you can mix it into your grease or something like that in the bottom of the pan, and then you can pour it over your food. So learning and understanding exactly where the problem lies is key. But a lot of these carnivore groups and these Facebook groups and these carnivore doctors and stuff like that are not talking about that. It's like they're simply just wanting people to believe, eat meat and drink water, you'll be okay. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. And these are things that need to be talked about, and they're not being talked about. I made a concoction one time of electrolyte concentrate, and I basically took like a half of a teaspoon of sodium, a half of a teaspoon of potassium, and then I took some flavoring like some lemon juice or something like that, just to get some vitamin C in with my electrolytes. And I just squeezed some down in a little ice cube tray, and I made this concentrate tray, and I put it in the freezer, and every day that tray needs to be gone. And what you do is you get ice cubes and you put it in a really good thermos, and it slowly releases into the water. And you might even get 2 or 3 drinks or thermoses of water out of that before those electrolytes completely melt into the water. And then you've had 1,000 milligrams or 1,200 extra milligrams of sodium and potassium. What I'm trying to get at here is don't follow blindly. If you're having these problems, do something about it. Just because it says DR in front of somebody's name or MD at the end doesn't mean they know a damn about what they're talking about. A lot of us that have been doing this for a long time, like me, 15 years, use a little bit of common sense sometimes. That goes longer than whatever that little credential that's in the beginning or at the back of somebody's name, because they simply forget some of the simplest things sometimes to point out. Over the last year, I've fixed so many people's issues with not having enough potassium because they listen to some doctor or somebody else say, oh yeah, just eat meat and drink water, you'll be all right. That's not correct. That is not correct. If you're not eating enough to sustain good potassium levels and good sodium levels, you have to salt everything. You have to put potassium in your water or something like that. Try to find a way to get it in there so you get good potassium levels. I try to tell people, if they shoot somewhere between, carnivore is different because it's so restricted. You don't have a lot of competition going in the body to uptake minerals and vitamins and things like that. So I try to shoot for about 2,500 to 3,500 milligrams of potassium per day with my food and adding things to it. Sodium, about the same thing. When I was keto, I noticed I needed more like 3,500 to 5,000 milligrams of both. But on carnivore, I don't need that. But, the lady last year that came up to me says, hey, I can only handle about a pound of meat per day, but I just got out of the hospital and they told me my potassium levels were severely low. I just had a guy last week telling me, hey, I just started carnivore and I'm just doing meat and drinking water, but my heart's beating out of control. Well, adding salt and potassium back in seems to be fixing these problems for people, because they're listening to people that are being dogmatic or not explaining things the right way, saying you need to supplement sometimes. That's the bottom line. You can't get over that. Guys, if you find any value in this video at all and you think it's going to shed some light at all, share this into your keto group. Share this into your carnivore group. Get the message out there to people that you can be sick if you don't do this. If you're experiencing a potassium deficiency problems, which I will link an article down low that talks about potassium deficiency and how you could, you're not a doctor, I know, but look at this chart and see, do I have these symptoms? If I have these symptoms, I probably should be putting a little bit of potassium back in my diet. Please share this, guys. Get this message out there. This is my passion. This is what I do. I lose tons of time doing this, but I love people. I want them to heal, and I want them to hear my message. Share this. Please share this. Thank you.